Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rehachak Wadash, and double honors to our elders and apostles of GMS, a great millstone, and teaching real well. And this is Brother Nabali here with another lesson, all right? And, the topic, of this lesson pretty much, is going to be, Christians love to say they are saved, all right? And this is, I kind of just wanted to add on to this. All right, you have the brother here. All right, the real Hebrew Israelite. All right, real cool brother. I see him, post, social media. I believe, his YouTube is also, named the real Hebrew Israelite. So, give him a like, give him some likes, some follows, and subscribe. All right, onto his YouTube, man. Really good brother. I seen here. All right. This guy goes by the name, it's David Capriano, all right? Could be Jake, could not, sounds like an Italian, all right? Sounds like he got some Italian roots to him, all right? Which, some Italians are Jakes, all right? But, it says here, once you're saved, it says you're always saved. It said a child of God cannot stop being a child of God. All right, well, first and foremost, all right, salvation, all right, is only for the Israelites, all right? Salvation is only for the Israelites, all right? So, it tells you that, in the book of John 4:22, all right? Salvation is for the Jews, all right, which we'll get that, all right? Let's get the book of John 4:22. All right, and it says here, John 42, it says here, ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is for the Jews. All right, getting straight to the point. All right, and the word Jew comes from Judah. All right, come from Judah, and Judah makes up, of the southern tribes, okay, which is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. All right, it makes up those tribes, but you also have the northern tribes as well. All right, and as a whole, the southern and the northern tribes, man, we're known as Israel. All right, the scriptures tell us, all right, in the book of Hebrews 7:4, that Yahweh Shai sprang out of Judah. All right, so what does that make? What does that make Yahweh Shai? Yahweh Shai, that makes Yahweh Shai a Jew. All right, which he's an Israelite. That makes him an Israelite. All right, that makes Yahweh Shai an Israelite. All right, we can go there to the book of Hebrews 7:4. All right, just to prove that point. Salakia. Hebrews 7:4. Is it 7:4 or 7:14? 7:14. Salakia. It says, we'll start at get straight to the point. Verse Hebrews 7:14. All right, and it says here, for it is evident that Yahweh Bashim Shai sprang out of Judah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning the priesthood. So this just proves right here, all right, that Yahweh Bashim Shai came out of the tribe of Judah. All right, and we just read, all right, in John 4:22, that salvation is for the Jews. And like I said before, all right, that the southern tribes, all right, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi were known as the Jews back then. All right, they were known as the Jews back then, but as a whole, all right, you got the northern tribe. All right, as a whole, we are all Israel. All right, that consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the Hispanics. All right, we are all as a whole Israel. All right, it tells you it tells you, all right, we're It tells you in the book. Matter of fact, let's get that. Jeremiah 30:3. All right, Jeremiah 30 and verse 3. Well, we can start at 1. So it says deliverance from captivity promised. All right, so this proves right here that salvation is only for the Israelites, man. All right, this proves here salvation is only for the Israelites. So we could get this here. It says, as you see the heading, deliverance from captivity promised. It says the word that came to Jeremiah from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, saying, "Thus speaketh Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the power of Israel." There you go. You see the power of Israel. All right, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. That's our power. All right, that's who we're supposed to serve. That's who we worship. All right. So it's Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the power. It says, "Thus speaketh Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the power of Israel, saying, write thee all the words that I have spoken to thee in the book." All right. Now this is Jeremiah. Speaking the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. It says, "For lo, the days come, saith Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel." There you go, and Judah. You see, all right, because like I said before, Judah, all right, is known as the southern tribes, and Israel is known as the northern tribes. But as a whole, we are all Israelites. We were all from Israel. All right. So it says, "For lo, the days come, saith Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah, saith Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, that they shall possess." All right. So, this is a promise that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has given us, that that we're going to go back into our lands, and this is the prophecy, all right, that hasn't been fulfilled yet. All right, but this prophecy is going to take place. All right, when Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, delivers us, from, this destruction that's coming upon Babylon the Great. All right, when Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, beams us up. All right, he's going to bring us back into our lands, man. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is going to, deliver us out of this captivity. All right, that's biblical prophecy. Let me see. Yeah, that's biblical prophecy right there. All right. The scriptures also tell you in the book of Amos 3:2, which we'll get that. Let's get the book of Amos 3:2, Salakia. It says, we'll start at 1. It says, "Hear this word that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai hath spoken against you, O children of Israel." All right, so who is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai speaking to? He's speaking to the children of Israel, right? It says, "Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying," it says, "You only have I known of all the families of the earth." All right, so Yahweh Bashim Yahushai only dealt with the Israelites, man. It says, "Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities." You see, so Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is, punishing us for all of our iniquities, man. All right, you see, we're under the curses now. All right, as punishment. All right, from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. The scriptures tell you that he discontinued us from our heritage, man. All right, he discontinued from our heritage. He, this is the only captivity. All right, that we don't know who we are. All right, we don't know who we are, man. As a nation. All right, but the scriptures tell you that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, is gonna bring us back into remembrance. All right, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, tells us, the scriptures tell us that he will bring us back into remembrance, in the land of our captivity. All right, so that just goes to show you, all right, that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is only dealing with Israel. All right, let's go to the book of Psalms 147 and 20. All right, just to kind of back that up. 147 and 20. We'll start at 19. It says, "He showed his word unto Jacob." All right, he showed his word unto Jacob, and Israel is also known as Jacob. It says his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. You see, it says he had not dealt so with any nation, and it says as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, because Israel is the nation of Israel is the only nation that can sin. All right, and what is sin? Sin is transgression of the law. All right, so when you transgress the law, then you sin. All right, when you do things outside of the statutes of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, when you don't keep his commandments as he required us to do, is to keep his commands. All right, so when you don't keep his commandments, all right, well, then there comes judgment. All right, there comes judgment. All right, and when you sin, what comes with sin? Sin is death. All right, sin is death. So that's what happens, all right, to these Israelites out here that don't keep the commandments and don't keep the statutes of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, which 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed because they don't keep they don't keep the statutes and the commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, it's not about it's not the law that's going to save us. All right, it's not the law that's going to save us. The book what Judges 5:11 tells us that we're out here to rehearse the righteous acts. But if you got that faith, all right, if you got faith, which faith is a gift, then you're going to rehearse his righteous acts, man. You're going to show Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right, that you're serious, man. All right, by rehearsing these righteous acts, you're showing him that you want to be delivered from this place. Okay, so the scriptures also tell you in the book of Romans 11:26 that all Israel shall be saved. All right, so let's get that Romans 11:26 that all Israel shall be saved. Just to prove that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is only dealing with Israel. Okay, so let's get the book of Romans. What is it? What did I say again? Romans. 11:26. All right, where's the book of Romans? Damn, Slakia. Am I overpassing it? Let me just type it in. Romans 11:26. All right, this is Romans 11:26. Let's see. Okay, we'll get straight to the point here. It says Romans 11:26, and it says, and so all Israel shall be saved. All right, because eventually all of Israel are going to be saved. All right. All right, but 2/3, of Israel, are going to be destroyed on the side. All right, and that 1/3, all right, that consists of the 144,000. All right, and the rest of the elect, all right, are going to be saved on this side. All right, but 2/3 of our people will not be saved on the side, man. All right, but eventually all of Israel will be saved. All right, because the 2/3 are going to come back into the kingdom. Are going to come back into the kingdom. All right, into a righteous kingdom. All right, through the loins of the elect. All right, and it says, and so all Israel shall be saved, and it is written, there shall come out of Zion the delivered, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. All right, because the scriptures tell you, all right, that when Israel is brought back, the 2/3 are brought back. All right, when we are delivered from this place, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is gonna put Slakia, I had a brain fart. Is gonna put pretty much put the commandments in our hearts, in our inward parts. All right. It says, for this is my covenant to them when I shall take away their sins. All right. So pretty much Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is gonna put put the commandments, in our minds, in our hearts, so that we can never go off again. And it says, as concerning the gospel, they are enemies for your sake. But as touching the election, they are beloved for the Father's sake. All right, you see. So the elect are beloved to Yahweh Bashim Shai, man. All right, so 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed here on this side. All right, but eventually all of Israel will be saved, man. All right, all of Israel will be saved. All right, so Yahweh Bashim Shai is only dealing with the Israelites, man. All right, we go to the book of 2nd Esdras, and he talks about, pretty much, how the other nations are spittle to him, man. Let's get that. Let's get 2nd Esdras 6:59. 2nd Esdras 6, and we'll go to verse 59. No, is it 6? 2nd Esdras. No, it's not 6:59. It's 16. Damn, 2nd Esdras. Damn, let me see. Let me see. Slakia, bear with me. Let me see. 2nd Esdras 6:56. Slakia. 2nd Esdras 6:56, and it says here, straight to the point. It says, as for other people which also come of Adam, all right, because we all come from Adam, all right. It says, thou had said that they are nothing, all right, but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel, all right. So Yahweh Bashim Shai doesn't give a damn about you other nations, man. All right, because Yahweh Bashim Shai has chosen, all right, the nation of Israel. All right, yeah, we all come from Adam, but there's a chosen, all right, from those other nations that came from Adam, all right, and that nation is Israel. All right, we can read that in the book of Deuteronomy, and let's get the book of Deuteronomy 7:7. All right, Slakia. Let's get the book of Deuteronomy 7:7 just to prove that point. Deuteronomy 7:7, and it says here, we'll start at 6. It says, for thou art a holy people unto Yahweh Bashim Shai thy power. It says, Yahweh Bashim Shai thy power hath chosen, there you go, hath chosen thee to be special people unto himself. You see? So Israel has been chosen, all right, to be a special people until Yahweh Bashim Shai. It says above all people that are upon the face of the earth, man. All right. So that just goes to prove right there, man. When I read in 2nd Esdras that all the other nations are as spittle, yeah, we all come from Adam, all right, Adam and Eve, all right. But all right, the other nations are as spittle. He has chosen a special people unto him, and that is the Israelites, man. All right, it says, verse 7, Yahweh Bashim Shai did not set his love upon you, nor chosen you, because ye were more in number than any people, but ye were the fewest of all people. All right, verse 8 says, because Yahweh Bashim Shai loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn to your fathers, hath Yahweh Bashim Shai brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen and from the hand of Pharaoh, King Pharaoh of Egypt. It says, know therefore that Yahweh Bashim Shai thy power, he is your power, the faithful power which keepeth the covenant and mercy, which them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations, man. All right, and only the elect are going to keep his commandments. All right, the scriptures tell you, if you love me, keep my commandments. So only the elect, are going to have that faith and keep his commandments, man, and rehearse the righteous acts. It says, and repay them that hate him to their face and destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him. He will repay him to his face. All right. And Esau Edom, we know Esau Edom, and they hate Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. All right. They hate Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right. And 2/3 of our people. It says, thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which I command thee to this day to do them. You see, and only the elect. All right. That's what it's all about. It's about the elect are going to keep the statutes and judgments and the commands of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right. So that just goes to show you right there, man. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is only dealing with Israel, man. All right. He's only dealing with Israel. All right. So for you Christians to say, that you are saved, what are you saved from? What are you saved from? All right. Because destruction is coming here, man. All right. The only people that are going to be saved are the Israelites, man. All right. The elect will be saved. All right. And ultimately, all of Israel will be saved according to the book of Romans 11:26. Okay. So let's get the book of Matthew 24:13. And it says here, Matthew 24:13, Salakia. It says here, let's see. We could start at verse 6, Matthew 24 and verse 6. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. All right. And that's the times that we're in now. We're hearing wars, rumors of wars. All right. We're hearing wars taking place. Okay. It says, for nation shall rise up against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All right. Which that's another thing that's taking place. All right. So that's how we know that we're at the end. Okay. All these, we got different pestilences. We got earthquakes. All right. All these different tempests and storms taking place. It says, all these are the beginning of sorrows. It says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. All right. And eventually Esau is going to come down like a madman, sparing none. Okay. It says, and then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. It says, and many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. All right, which we're in that time now. All right, there's many false prophets out there, false teachers out there. All right, that are deceiving many. All right, not sticking to the doctrine. All right, not sticking to the pure doctrine. All right, that was given, unto our leaders, man. Unto our apostles and our elders. All right, of GMS, a great millstone. Okay, and it says, and because iniquity shall abound and the love of many shall wax cold, but he that endureth unto the end. So we got to endure to the end. We got to endure all these things unto the end. The same shall be saved. All right. And it says, this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all of the world for a witness unto the nations, and then shall the end come. All right. So we got to endure all these things, man. We got to endure Jacob's trouble. We got to, endure, the hour of temptation. We got to endure all these things in order to be saved. All right. So what exactly are you Christians saved from? All right. What exactly are you Christians saved from, man? All right, is the question. All right. You haven't went through Jacob's trouble yet. You haven't went through the hour of temptation. All right. You Christians, man, and especially, man, if you're not, of the elect, man, you're not going to make it, man. All right. You're just not going to make it. All right. So let's get the book of Luke 21:36, and we'll end off with that. Luke 21 and verse 36. Surah 34, and it says, and take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged in satiety and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that they come upon you unawares. All right, and that's what's going to happen to a lot of these jakes out here, man. All right, these people are so caught up in this world, all right, not paying attention, all right, to the signs, man, of the coming of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, the scriptures tell you that he'll come as a thief in the night. All right, so these people are drunken, off that wine of Babylon here, man. All right, these people are totally blinded to what's about to come. It says, for as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth, man. All right, that our temptation, man, is going to come upon the whole earth, man. All right, that is one of the main prophecies that a lot of people aren't paying attention to, man. Especially 2/3 of our people, man. 2/3 of our people are not paying attention to that time. All right, so that's going to come upon them as a thief in the night, man. That's going to throw a lot of people, that's going to confuse a lot of people and throw a lot of people off. It says, watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and stand before the Son of Man. You see? All right, so you got to watch and pray that you're accounted worthy to escape all these things, man. All right, Jacob's trouble. All right, that hour of temptation. Okay, those main prophecies, man, that are going to take place. All right, you got to find yourself accounted worthy. Okay. All right, keeping the commands of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, his statutes and judgments. All right, you got to find yourself worthy of these things, man. All right, to escape the judgments that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is getting ready to bring forth here to Babylon the Great. Okay, so I pray that this lesson was edifying to you, brothers and sisters out there. And again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Bakakwadash. And once again, double honors to our elders and apostles of Jim Messenger at Millstone, teaching real well. All right, this is Brother Nabal. Until the next lesson, Shalom, Shalom.